Hey neighbor, winter time has arrived. You see these gloves here? See that old toboggan there on his head? Is that what we call that, toboggan?
Toboggan.
Somebody
Yeah,
said you could tell where they were located in the country, but what they call those.
Beanie. I call it a beanie. I feel like further north they call it a toboggan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow, winter time's here, folks. Welcome to the Row by Row Gardening Show, the best dadgum gardening show on the internet, where we talk about gardening, a little bit of cooking, and growing your own food. Now sit back and enjoy. All right, so we're going to be talking about what to be doing, because there's some things you need to be doing now.
Yeah.
Winter time's upon us. Maybe not the main part of gardening, we get that, but there are some things to be doing out there. But we got Evan sitting in today from Mama Hoss.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So Mama Hoss is, her sister, which is 2 years older than her, has come to our house. She's on hospice. Her days are limited, so she has came to our house and staying with us for her next. Her days are numbered, so my Mom Hoss decided to take care of her. Her sister's 2 years older than her. She's 61 years old. I know that sounds right, but she's on hospice and had a rough last few years, had some issues, and the end is near. And you know, death is tough, but so I'm 60 years old and I've seen death. How old are you?
I'm 23 years old.
Have you lost anybody close to you?
Yeah, I have, and it's pretty rough at first.
Who was it?
It is rough. My grandma's sister.
Yep.
I've lost a friend, but yeah.
Yeah, death can be. It can be better, and it can be worse. So the worst ones are the tragic ones, the ones you don't see coming that just hit. When they small children involved, those are just tragic. You can't see it coming. It just hits you like a big wall of ice.
It feels like nothing's gonna get better.
And then there's other times, like I've lost my mother and father in the last few years. There's other times where it's easier.
Yeah.
So, to give you an example, my father was 86 years old, and he was ready. He told me he was ready, and he just simply told me that he wanted to rest. He closed his eyes, and that was it. Yeah. So, I mean,
and you got to respect that.
Yeah. So they are easier ways, and then there's tougher ways, but. You know, being a person of faith, for me, makes it easier, but death is death, taxes, and squash bugs are the we all got to face at some point in our lives. So anyway, she's dealing with that. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent there, but she's dealing with that. So we got Evan filling in here, and we're doing the wintertime gardening show today because, man, 27 degrees this week.
Yeah, it hit a little early.
Boom.
Yep, just smacked us.
We didn't see it coming.
It got us good too.
It just seemed like yesterday we was complaining about the heat.
Yeah, and it was. It pretty much was, yeah.
Yeah, and we're talking in the next few days it'll be warming up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you guys need to be doing? Well, the first thing that crosses your mind when you get that alert from weather that's going to be down below freezing is you start thinking about pipes.
Yep.
Now, this 27, 28 degrees really didn't cause a lot of concern for us, but we know it's going to be getting colder.
Yep.
So one of the things we need to really think about for us gardeners is irrigation. You know, I got some of those, I should have brought one, those brass ball valves, those are the worst.
They are. They bust super easy.
Now, the little spigots are not quite as bad. We need to, we have to route those too, but those ball valves, boom, they'll bust. We got some of those. We got the one at the greenhouse. We got it took care of.
Yep, it's covered.
But what about your drip irrigation? Well, for the most part, your drip irrigation is self-draining. However, I would take all my timers up. If you got those electronic timers, I would take those up and put those inside for the winter time. On your filter regulator combo, really the only thing you need to do is drain it out and drain this area right here because this can catch and hold water right there.
Yep.
So take that off right there, and that's what it's there for, is to drain. So take that off and let that drain out there, and I think you'll be okay there. I don't think you're really going to hold any water in here.
And so that's all you need to do is just take that bottom cap off?
I've took them off before and put them in the barn, and that's okay.
And you can just leave it sitting out there through the winter?
I think so.
Should be fine.
Especially if you got some winter crops, if you're growing like some brassicas or onions or whatever. But I would drain it. I would drain it in between uses because we never know when it's going to get cold again. Yep. So drain it out like that right there, and then when you need water, just turn it back on. So it's pretty simple. I don't think that's a big issue there as far as freezing and busting. even right in here, which would be your main part here, it should drain out there. And all your drip line and all that are self-draining. So
Yep.
anyway, take care of that. Pull your timers in and get them out of the way.
Yep.
And, you know, those, you was asking me yesterday, what about those beans? Well, the beans are just gone.
Yep, they're gonna bite the dust as soon as that first frost hits. So
Get out there and harvest what you can and
Yep.
get it in, and then it's just that time of year when things move on. The good thing is our collard greens and our mustard greens and all that's going to be tasting better because
yeah, they enjoy it.
cold hits them, converts those carbohydrates to sugars in there, so they become so much better.
Yep.
Insect problems.
Yes, insect problems.
It'll take care of our insects.
Yes,
so.
it will. And that's another thing about being down here is we get those quick snaps, and then the pest cycle never really ends, right? I mean, it will kill them off for the time being, but do they tend to come back or bounce back pretty quick and that cycle
They
continues?
can if we get the next few days. Now, it does help. The colder winter we have, it definitely helps drop our population on our soft body insects particularly. Now, our worms, they can come back with a vengeance. You know, we've not had much worm problem this fall.
We really haven't. I haven't
been
seen much
nice.
damage at all.
But they can come back, so we have to really pay attention. But the cold weather does definitely help us on our insect pressure. So all that works in our favor.
Yep.
The last thing we want going into wintertime is bare soils on any of our garden plots.
Yep. So a few things we can do, right, is apply a thick layer of mulch, manure, compost will work, right?
Anything to kind of protect that soil there. We don't want it to blow away with some of these windstorms that we have coming in wintertime. We don't want them to wash away our topsoil.
Right.
So anything we can do there. So if I was going to add manures, like you said, a good strategy there, if I wasn't going to plant anything, would be put a tarp over it.
Put a tarp over it, keep everything in place, keep the rain off of it, right, and keep the wind from blowing it
And
away.
that would also encourage your beneficials, your earthworms and things like that.
And it'll feed them.
Yeah, so you can
yep.
do that. Cover crops.
Yep, cover crops are a great alternative.
Cool season cover crops. I know for our neighbors up north, it can be a little past your time. If you're in zone 6 and on up, yeah, it's probably past your time to plant cover crops. But here in the south, if you've planted cover crops, you can still be okay, even with these cold weathers, with these cool season cover crops.
Yep.
Or you could possibly get by with planting some now.
Yeah, I mean, over the next 2 weeks, if you look at the forecast, it's supposed to heat right back up. So you should get a good germination and get a few of your cover crops up in time. What would you say is your workhorse or some of your favorite cover crops to use this time of the year?
Well, if I was going to plant something right now, I would probably be a little more strategic on what I planted. So I probably wouldn't plant some of the Australian winter peas. Now, I love the winter peas, but I probably wouldn't plant them right now because they're not going to come up and grow if we get hit with some cold spells. They're not going to have the vigor
They're a
that they
little
would
tender.
have back in October. So if I'm planting now in zone 9, and maybe in zone 8, of course in zone 10, you can plant any of your monocots, which is your oaks, your rye, and things like that. And even you can plant some of your clovers and your legumes, such as your, what's your favorite clover?
Crimson.
You could plant it.
Yeah.
You could plant any of the clovers right now. They're going to be a little slow coming up. They're going to come up. They're going to sit there and they're going to just bust come early spring.
Yep.
Hairy vetch is another one that I like.
I like hairy vegetable as well.
So you could still plant some of those right now. The biggest one that's really going to be your best friend if you want to get something quick right now is probably going to be winter rye.
Yep. And I think we've discussed this a little bit. We've covered cover crops, and you were telling me that it's a great soil cleanser.
Yeah, so your rye, your monocots, particularly your rye, is probably the best cleanser you can plant for a cool season cover crops. Take some of those impurities out of the soil. If for some reason you had some herbicide overexposure to some of your soils, the best thing you can do right now is plant a rye.
And you know, that's interesting to me. I really didn't know that. I knew it pulled some of those excess nutrients out of the soil,
Yeah.
so they don't leach, but I did not know.
Yeah, and to your point there, it keeps those nutrient cycles in line. So if you got an if you overload it on phosphorus, which a lot of our soils are around here, plant those right now, and you can pull those out, keep them in that nutrient cycle, keep from overloading our soil colloid. So winter rye is a wonderful plant. I love oaks. Oaks are not as cold tolerant as winter rye is, but I love oaks, and I love to plant oaks and rye along with hairy vetch, because you just get the best of both worlds there. You get that legume growing, it has that ladder to grow up on of that rye or those oaks, and then come springtime, that hairy vetch blooms. The pollinators
They
love it.
love it. It's a magnet, isn't it? Yeah.
So that's a great strategy right there, but definitely you need just the worst thing you can do is leave that soil out there
Keep it covered.
exposed.
Have to keep it covered. On that note, what are your thoughts on mulches and different types of mulches you can use to keep your soil temperatures in line so they don't get too cold, and then when it heats up like it does down here throughout the winter, you can keep that at an ideal temperature?
Yeah, so just the other day we planted some strawberries, and I like to use native mulches. Anything that you get your hands easy on. I love pine straw. Pine straw works great. I love wheat straw. The problem with wheat straw is get some wheat seeds in there, but it really works well. I'm not a big fan of your store-bought colored mulches and things like that. You know, the wood chips.
Yep.
Not
They
a big
put those
fan of
dyes
that.
and colors on it. I don't really like that either.
But anything that's native that you get your hands on, this not very, it's more cost effective. Those seem to work really good as far as keeping those roots protected. Strawberries is one of those things that you just about have to mulch.
Yep. That what berries maybe? Your berries you want to get a pretty good mulch on.
You're talking about your blackberries and your blueberries and all those. Yeah, it's a good time of the year to be putting mulches out there. Our pine straw is falling right now, so it's a good time to get it up and do some mulching, kind of protect those plants going in. Because we don't know what kind of winter we're going to have.
No, we never do.
We've got an idea it's going to be a hard one because we've had more cold weather so far this year.
We have, and it's hit us a bit earlier.
Yep. All right, so another thing everybody's talking about is onions.
Yep.
So even though we've had this little cold spell here, onions love cold weather and it doesn't bother them a whole lot. Now, I wouldn't get out there and plant these onions in 28 degrees, but you don't need to be out there in 28 degrees anyway.
No.
But anything above about 35 to on up is going to be fine here. We just started shipping them this week, and I'm going to tell you, the onion plants to me look probably better than they have in a long time.
Yeah, I saw them last year, and that was the first time I saw them. But I have to say, this year they're looking exceptional.
Last year was a very unusual year. We had to deal with a hurricane.
Yep, we did.
And it was probably some of the poorest plants we've had. Hey, it was what it was. We couldn't do anything about it, but the plants was not good last year. It was the best we could get our hands on, so we kind of had to deal with it. But the hurricane just played havoc on it. This year seems to be the year of the onion plant. These things have just done. Well, I want you to look at the back side.
The bulb size looks really, really good.
Now, one thing that you will notice with these onion plants, they were all planted at the same time, and you'll notice the varieties that have the most vigor seem to be a little bit bigger. The most vigor, they're bigger.
The more vigor, the bigger. Yeah, I like that.
So this Vidora here, we know is a very vigorous type plant, and it has done extremely well. These plants, man, they just look really good here.
Yeah.
So we're shipping these folks as we speak, and you'll be getting your onion plants within the next couple of weeks. Don't fret, it's perfectly fine. In fact, I talked to our a guy that's been growing onions commercially for a long time, and he said, Greg, tell your people not to get in too big of a hurry to plant these things, because what will happen if you plant them too early is you will stress that plant and you'll get more of them to bolt in the springtime. And he said something else that really caught me off guard. He said you'll get more doubles.
Really?
I didn't realize that double onions was caused by stress.
Yeah.
I thought it was always caused by planting two bulbs close together.
It could be, right? You know,
It
I mean,
can be.
that will cause stress, but
I've always thought when you get those doubles, but he says those doubles come from stress. So don't plant them too early, and you won't get as much bolting, and you won't get as much stress. You just grow a better plant. They love the guys in Vidalia and the onion growing region of Georgia love to plant them in the next 3 or 4 weeks is the ideal time. We can plant them all the way up into springtime. They just won't bub up quite as much. But these onion plants are looking awesome this year.
Yeah, they are. And you know what? What's interesting that we realized last year too, and it kind of threw you for a loop, is they kind of struggled a little bit through the winter. They didn't get much top on them like we were expecting.
Yeah.
And then you talked to your onion grower, I think it was, and he told you that they're putting on those root systems, and that come spring they'll just absolutely take off and bulb up.
So when you get your onions, you want to plant them about this deep right here. Can y'all see that right there? That's about the depth you want to plant them right there. If you was to get your onions in and you got, well, no, I can't plant them for the next few days. Well, the last thing you want to do is put these things in water. What you want to do is take these rubber bands off and you want to spread these out and put them in a cool, dry spot.
Is that to reduce disease or rot?
Rot. So when they bunch together like this right here, we don't get quite the air circulation in there. So if you get them, you want to take them out, spread them out so they get good air circulation. Make sure they don't stay below 32 degrees and preferably not above 50 degrees. So a nice cool place, and they'll last for several days, if not weeks. Ideally, plant them as soon as possible, but if you can't, spread them out there. Don't put them in water. That's the worst thing you can do there. And I told everybody last week, I'm going to tell them again. You see these roots right here?
Yes.
Useless.
Useless.
They're going to rot off.
They're dead.
They're dead.
Yep.
That basil plate right there.
Plate.
And I threw that new word out last week.
Yep.
Is where our new roots are going to come from.
Oh, look at that. Is that a new knife?
Uh-huh.
That's not.
It is.
Oh, you just couldn't help yourself, could you?
So I'm going to cut these off right here. And that right there is where your new roots are going to come out. Now, we're going to leave these on there because we don't want to injure that basil plate like I just did. But all these roots here, they're going to rot off.
Yep.
And they're going to shoot out right there. And just like Evan said, they're going to sit there and you're going to think, my onions ain't doing enough. Feed them, folks.
Feed them. Yep, it's super important to feed those onions.
And grow those tops. The next thing you know, they'll be looking really, really good. I like to eat them when those bulbs get about this big.
Just go pull them out and eat them like that?
I do. That and the tops.
Before they fully mature?
Yeah, that's the reason I plant them thick, so I can pull every one of them
Yeah.
to do that. All right, so what else we got to do this winter? Getting into the winter time on our garden. All right, cut your perennials back. Go out there and do a little housekeeping. It's a good time to get those garden tools cleaned up and organized a little bit. That's something we need to put on our
I definitely need to do that.
Remove those spent plants, and if you see any branches out there, and we have this issue here because we got pecan trees. If you see those branches of those trees that's getting down and hitting you when you going underneath there cutting that grass, it's a good time to prune them away and all that kind of stuff. And be thinking about a little bit, get your plan together about what's going on, because next thing you know, it's going to be potato planting time.
Yep.
We got onion planting time now, so be thinking ahead how we want to treat these plots to have them going into early springtime.
Yep. We do slow down a little bit, don't we? But we still got to plan, and we still got to be on our toes, because in our climate.
Yeah, and we're a little different than the
season.
guys up north. I mean,
Oh, yeah. I'd say significantly different.
we can still get out there and do some things. We can grow collard greens and things like that.
Yep, we can grow our brassicas.
And our poor neighbors up north, they just got cabin fever. They got where did I see a picture? I seen a picture maybe yesterday of Ohio. They had a good bit of snow up there
Already?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they pretty much
Typical.
doubled in for the wintertime.
Yep.
And we can still, I say this right here, we can kind of grow year round. They can't, but we got bugs that they don't have, so it's all a wash. You know? They can grow their garlics. They do good with garlics. We just can't grow garlics this far down very well, so they have their benefits up north.
They definitely do. Yep.
All right, folks, so a couple of things. We're just going to show y'all this. Pruners for cleaning up, getting stuff out of the way right now, okay?
Yep.
It's a good time to clean up even those ornamentals that's got out of hand. Clean those up.
Yep, just clean them up a little bit.
It's also a good time to be thinking about soil sample.
Yep.
Anytime in the next 2 or 3 months is really when I recommend doing a soil sample, and go ahead and get that and understand what you're up against next year. If you need to adjust the pH, or your nutrient load going into springtime, your phosphorus, your potassium, it's all important right here. So be thinking about soil sample, cleaning up a little bit. And you know what? What about covering? What about frost covering?
Yeah, we've got floating row covers, right? What else do we have? I mean,
Tarp. Well, we've got tarps.
Tarps.
We talked about tarping your plots.
we do have our tarps.
So if you're not going to grow a cover crop, at least put a tarp over it.
Yep. And then I guess, I mean, even at home, what I'm used to is if you got to, just throw a sheet over something.
Oh, anything.
Yeah, anything will work.
Now, if you're going to use, now this is the thing here. We see this happen every year, and look here, I've been guilty of it too. We know we're going in wintertime here.
Yep.
Go ahead and get prepared for a harder freeze than what we just have, because we know we got them coming. So if you've not got frost covers, get some and keep them on hand, because you can't get them 2 or 3 days ahead of time hardly when that cold weather's coming in. A sheet will work. A blanket will work. The frost covers are lighter. They're a little bit easier to work with, but you get in a pinch, those work. Clear plastic will work.
Yeah.
Just pull it off before the sun comes up where it won't blister.
It'll fry your plant. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll do that. So keep that in mind. Go ahead and get you some frost covers on hand so that you know when those cold comes in, you'll have it. And because it's coming.
Yep. And I mentioned something to you earlier when we went and marked off that plot. The turmeric and the ginger right now.
Yep.
That's another thing to remember is you want to be getting those up because foliage is going to die back here soon. It's going to be freezing. You want to make sure you get your full harvest of your turmeric and ginger.
Yeah, and we got turmeric down there. We haven't got up yet, but I'll get it up in the next couple of days.
Mm-hmm. Yep, needs to be dug.
Needs to be out of there because it's done its thing.
It definitely has. It's flourished this year.
All right, so I got one more thing I got.
Oh yeah.
That wonderful flower there, folks, is
calendula. It's a beautiful, beautiful flower.
It is, and this is one of those few flowers that really just do great during the wintertime.
They love that cold weather.
It's going to take it down into the teens with no problem, but it just flourishes. We got these in the front of the office that you planted out there.
Yep. Planted a whole bed of them, and they're doing exceptionally well. They look great even after the freeze last night. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they'll amaze us with color going all the way into early spring. We'll pull them out at that point and then move on to our spring plant here.
Yep.
Calendula to me is one of the most underestimated cool flowers there are out there.
Yeah, it is. And on the note of flowers as well, we've got some interesting things going on behind the scenes. I've been working on compiling a list of cut flower varieties, and maybe I got a little overeager and had more than I thought I could handle on there. But we've slowly whittled it down to a few more popular varieties or staples that I believe that the home gardener might take a little, it might be more familiar with.
This is new for 2026.
It is new for 2026, and it's there's a few unique ones in there too that I think the home gardener may be familiar with that they'll enjoy growing here in the coming spring and fall.
Yeah, we've done you more so than me, extensive trials on some of this.
Yes, I have.
Man, we got some really unique and exciting things coming. There's a particular zinnia out here just blowed me away.
Yep, that red sun zinnia was absolutely amazing. We talked about it, how it literally looks like a lipstick red. It is so deep red. It is amazing, and I had a fun time growing it as well. It took some beating, didn't it? We didn't really do too much.
So how many, in number-wise, how many varieties have we got coming for 2026?
I think I may have added 1 or 2 more, so it may be close to 40.
Okay.
But we're close to 40 varieties that we're looking to add here coming this spring.
Well, you say spring. We should have them here in the next, 12 weeks?
Yeah, 12 weeks, and offer them for
our goal
spring
is January 1st, so
yeah,
we'll see. A lot of these we're having to bring in from overseas, but our goal is to have them in here by January, so we have them new for 2026.
Yep.
That's exciting. All right, so we got Garden Spotlight of the Week.
We do.
Look here. First time growing. Thanks to receiving seeds from you all. Boy, it's a beauty, and the pollinators love it too. Now, she's talking about roselle. Been growing roselle right here. And look, I tell everywhere I go, I say, look here, if you're going to grow one thing in the South, you got to grow this roselle here.
Yeah.
Now, this is Kelly Gardner, and Kelly is in New Caney, Texas, Zone 9A, which is the exact same as us. And she grew the new St. Kitts roselle, and I'm telling you, it's just turned out awesome.
Look at that.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
Yep. I'm gonna kind of run through these right here real quick.
All right.
Man, these things is awesome.
Yeah.
And ours has done really good. Now the cold.
Yeah, it has. It'll get to it. Yep.
It got it.
It did get it. I haven't been out there and looked yet.
Yeah, the cold got it, but it's
all
done
right.
extremely well. Look at that.
Yep.
Loaded.
Yeah, it is absolutely loaded.
Beautiful foliage as well.
Yep. Anything in that mallow family really performs extremely well down here.
Yeah.
And that hibiscus, I can't get enough of it.
You know, we didn't do hardly anything to it. Did
No,
we had
didn't.
it on the lazy garden.
We
kit
did,
this year.
so we didn't have to do too much.
Just
But
kept it water good.
Yep, kept
We
it
did
water.
preload the soil on fertility going into it.
we
but
did.
If you got a small spot and you want to grow roselle next year, we have found that a lazy garden kit works wonderful for that.
Yep.
And it'll grow more than the average person needs. So thank you, Kaylee, for
Yep,
that.
thank
Garden
you very
Spotlight, I hope I'm saying that, Caney, Texas, zone 980.
New Caney, Texas. I don't know how to pronounce that
I don't
either.
know. We got it close. All right. So the Bobblehead, Hoss Bobblehead.
Yep.
He's around here somewhere. I don't even
Yeah,
know
he
where
is.
he's at.
I haven't either. I hadn't
He's
even
on-
looked for him this
Mama
week.
Hoss moved him around. She helps him get around.
Yeah,
And she moved him around. Last week's winner is what we're drawing for today. And if you found him last week and you put in the comments, you was eligible to win. But today's winner is Cyndi McGrew.
Oh, Cyndi McGrew.
So Cyndi, send us your shipping address to support at growhoss. Support at growhoss.com, and you will be the recipient. We'll ship you these Get Dirty socks out.
Yeah.
Cyndi, as we speak today, I am wearing my Get Dirty socks.
You are.
I'm wearing them right now. Yep.
Should have told me.
Should have told you. We could have been matching.
Yeah.
Anyway, Cyndi, send us that shipping information. You'll get your Get Dirty socks in the mail. If you find the old goat bobblehead this week, put in the comments below and we'll have your drawing next week.
Yep.
All right, so we got onions going out. We got a little
We
bit
do.
of garlic left.
Yep.
We got a little bit of tom onions left, just a little
Just a
bit.
few. Yep.
What else we got going on?
The sweepstakes still.
Oh man,
We gotta remind everybody that the sweepstakes is wrapping up pretty soon.
yeah. So get your order in for that because that's going to be we're going to stop at the end of this month, and the drawing will be the first week in December. Excited to see who's going to win that.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm super excited.
All right, folks. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Evan.
Of course.
Sitting in, bud.
Of course.
All right. I know it's cold, folks, but if you get the opportunity on these warm days, you got to get out there and get dirty. Get your onion plot ready. Order you some onions if you hadn't already, and get those hands dirty.